Happy, happy Saturday! Let me just share really quick here. There we go. Hi! Hi, Debs. I saw that stuff was off, so I have about 30 seconds letting some people hop over here. Good morning, Maria. Hi, John. I saw you sneak in there, too. What's up? We're just looking at a little bit of my art here before I get ready to start. Gonna have a final sip of coffee. Okay. Hi, Canada. I'm waving at you. I'm right across the canal. Well, I don't know where in Canada you are. I'm right across the river from Canada. I can see Canada from the corner of my street. All right. Hi, Dad. All right, let's get started. All right, so welcome. If you haven't been here before, yeah, I'm right across the way from Windsor. If you haven't been here before, I'm Kathy Grillo, Kathy Grillo Designs, and this is where you can find me, follow me, and comment, like, share your art, whatever. I'm there to be a friend. Today, we're sculpting, thanks Deb, today we're sculpting for Little Deb's Creative Crew, which is right up there. Put up a couple of emojis, Deb, really quick before you go. If you guys want to follow Deb, she will be sharing out all of the art block today, so if you follow her, you'll be sure to get all the notices. Also, if you're ever interested in joining our little crew or our group, either as an artist or an art appreciator, contact Deb and she'll hit you up. But basically, you can contact any of us if you wanted more information about joining. Send me a message. I'll help anybody, most any of our artists will help. But this is our lineup today. We have a great day of art. Lots of amazing, talented artists, lots of different art. So if you have nothing going on today and you want to be inspired, tune in. All right, so this is it, folks. This is it. I'm starting a new project. It's sort of a mini portrait for my son. He requested it for a gift for somebody. So I am starting this cat, and all I have is the sketch. As you can see, I just finished this sketch last night in preparing just for you guys. Hi, thanks for coming. I usually don't paint eyes online because I could really get detailed. I'll try not to stay on the eyes super long though, guys, okay? I will try my best. So, usually I take my sketch and let's see, we'll slide the, so digital art, I have these lovely bars here where I can change the opacity of my lines. See, it could be dark or it could be barely seen. And so I don't like to be distracted by my lines, but the sketch is like a roadmap. A lot of times I draw under the sketch. For my pet portraits, I actually just draw right on top of it. So we're going to add a new layer right on top. And as always, I start with the eyes. So this will be my eye layer. People who watch me, I don't do the eyes very often online, so this is a little treat actually. I have a cat eye and over there's another eye. So I have two cat eyes to work on today. Just kind of slide them over here so I can look at them. And basically I'll use them to steal some colors out of. Alright. I'm going to start with one eye and then I'll worry about making them. Well, maybe I'll do them both at the same time. We'll work on them both at the same time. So we'll scoot back a little bit. Get my brushes set up. Wet oil. I have a wet oil. And I also, let me just mark something really quick with that so it stays. Alright. Alright, we're just gonna Get that little cat eye shape. And it's slightly curved because eyes are round. So you have to remember the curvature when you paint them in. Now, like real oils, you'll notice how it spreads after I'm done. So it's always something to take into consideration when you're painting. Alright, let's get this little highlight marks in. And what I love about Corel Painter is they've done a really good job of making the paints act like paints. So I want this wet blender brush as well, but I need to make it a lot smaller. See how big that brush is from my last time I was using it? I could just dial it down. I have a whole art store in my computer, so it's pretty cool. Oh my goodness. So, I don't know where everybody else is in the world. Feel free to shout out. I'm here in Michigan, and today in Michigan, let's see, right now it is, oh geez, it is 25 degrees out. It's actually warmed up. So, it's a little cold here today. I don't really mind winter so much, like, I just don't like the cold. I don't like it being so cold. Alright, so you can see my little brush here. I'm going to pull out. I want them actually a little more greener. Cold equals pain. Do you have arthritis and stuff, Johnny? Ugh. I have a little bit. I used to be a competitive roller skater. Go figure. Okay. and anybody knows people who do sports get injured, and sometimes those injuries, when you get older, come back and say, hey, oh yeah. So, yeah, part of the joy of being older, but getting older is better than the alternative. That's what I always remind myself. Alright. So I'm just laying down some colors here to sort of mix in. If I miss a comment, please repeat them if it's something that you want me to say. Oh, there you go. Good way of looking at it. Sometimes I have to get, like, concentrating on my eyeballs, because the eyes are one of the most important part of any portrait. Simply because they contain, that's like the soul, you know, you have, that's what draws the person into the picture. Contains any of the emotion and the life. It's all in the eyeballs. So, that being said, you want to, as any person doing a portrait, you want to pay attention to the eyes. Yes, they are. Well, not always, but for the most part. I mean, sometimes when you're doing like a downcast eye, it still conveys like the emotion, but it might not be the exact focal point. But yeah, for the most part, you want to pay attention and take time with your eyes. I'm trying not to do this today, but I mean, there's been times where I have spent like an hour or more on just a pair of eyes. So it's just one of those things. What are you gonna do? You got to do what you gotta do to make it right. Alright. So I'm just getting ready to blend these together. So I'm like laying these colors down. And then I'll use my, my favorite little blender to kind of... And I'm also taking a little bit of an artistic license with these eyes. Just because I really want them to pop. So let me see, you can see I'm making the colors maybe a little more brighter. I'm probably going to add a little more light into them than you see in the photo. You have to know what's going to look better. So you take the basics of a photo reference. And then as an artist, you need to interpret that photo reference. And if you're doing a portrait, yes, you do need the likeness. But you also, it's your job to help focus on and enhance the correct parts of the photo to make it a little more appealing, a little more arty. Alright, so I'm just blending this lightly. I'm barely touching my little tablet down here to get these colors. These are just the base colors, by the way. This is not the finished eye. But I want them to be a little streaky and kind of have like the little different colored flecks of eye color in there. And I'm not worried about staying in these lines because the next layer will be on top of the eyes and help set them in. So this isn't a full body portrait. Oh, I should have waited for that yellow, the white. I know. I'm going to erase the white. I'm going to do that over here too. Need to add that on later. This is just really like a close-up of a face. My son doesn't, he put in a little last-minute rush order. Of course, it's for some girl. So you gotta help your kid out. Gotta help your kid out. Can you draw this girl's cat for me, Mom? Oh, sure. And then, of course, it gets bumped right to the top of the list, little brat. But that's how it goes sometimes. It's your kid. Pretty much, especially if you're a mom, I'm like, and he's the one that moved out, so I have his room is now my office, and I miss him, and so it's like, yeah, sure. I didn't tell him. I was like, I'll see what I can do. And then, of course, like 4 days later, I'm sending him a sketch. Is this sketch okay? Who knows? Alright. Developing the color in there. Now I want to get some shadows and highlights and maybe a little more bright color in there. Alright. Let's emphasize a little bit of... So the iris is a muscle. Hi, Steph. Iris is a muscle, and the lines you see in your eyes are actually the muscles, and they expand and contract. So you don't want it to be super liney, but you do want to show some of the detail, and you can do that with variations of color. And like I want a little more of this green, like I wanted it to be kind of like the difference of the green and the yellow together. So let's blend these. So they are definitely not this bright in the photo. Thank you. They're definitely not this bright in the photo, but that's the artistic license of sort of making the eyes a little more dynamic, so they draw the person into the portrait. Hi Alexa, good morning. So I'm just going to smooth them a little bit here, but I still want to see like the slight lines of the color all blending in. And cat's eyes are a little different than dog's eyes. They usually have lighter eyes, a little more color variables in them. Of course, the pupil shape. Okay, so I'm just kind of smoothing them in because you want them to look like they're part of the orb here, and not. It's kind of crazy. It's like, how do you explain? Good morning, Julia. How do you explain you want it to blend, but you don't want it to blend? It's like a slight bend. I'm barely touching the paper. I call it my paper because I look like I'm there. I have a pressure-sensitive pen, so if I press hard, it goes hard. If I press light, it is light on the screen, so it is like drawing right on paper. So I think the color, I kind of like these colors here. Now I have to add a little light to them. Being your cornea is like a glass dome, and so when you have light, you're going to have a shadow, and it's going to go through your cornea and reflect on the iris, usually on the bottom part of the eye. So you want a little bit of that sunshine light coming through. Hello, how are you? Good morning, Max. How are you today? So we're gonna make a little bit of this on the bottom half. Awesome, I'm glad to hear it. A little bit, maybe a little less blending on there. So you bring a little sparkle to the eye and help create it. Thank you, yeah. I do a lot of dogs, but I do cats too. I'm an equal opportunity painter. Alright. I get to go a little brighter. I want it to stand out a little more than that. Alright, let me go a little brighter. Trying to get just the right color. Eyes are important. Try not to spend too much time on them. I can always come back and play with them for an hour if I need to. Hi, Helga. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Alright. Alright. Now I'm going to blend a little white on top. Just a teeny. first off, we have some there. I get the reflection. Tap it. Now this blender I'm using is called Just Add Water. So it's just like if I took some water and added it to my painting. A little more white in there. So I'm just dabbing it with water and letting it spread sort of on its own to give it that little wet eyeball-y look. Alright, now let's get a nice dark color. I'm gonna re-put this pupil back in with a darker color than I originally did. And make a little shape in there. Okay. Brighten it up a little bit. So I'm going in around like a circle, like it's a dome, because that's kind of the shape I'm looking for. So I'm blending it in the shape that I want. Alright. Now I need a little bit of the shadow under here to darken this part up a little bit. You're always going to have a shadow right underneath the eyelid part. Human, dog, animal, whatever eye you're looking at. There's an eyelid, there's a shadow. A little darker. Okay. So hope everybody's having a great Saturday. Saturday is now one of my favorite days of the week. Not only because it's the weekend, but we get to be here on the art block. My only problem with the art block on Saturdays is a lot of times I'm busy on Saturday. I want to get a little more of that green in. But I want it dark. And a little more of this contrast green in the middle. I'm sure there's lots of people who paint different ways. I did not get to go to school to learn all the proper techniques, so this is just me being self-taught, learning, I don't know, whatever way I do it. I get told all the time, oh, it'd be easier to do it this way. I go, well, it probably would be. Alright, let me hit this white. But so you start with the shape, and then you build up the form, which was making it look rounded. You know, lighten it up a little bit. And now I'm adding in details, which is the parts that I want to look a little more liney. I have a color a little more obvious. A little bit. And just like I added that, I want to get a little bit of this yellow in. Going the other way. And just like if I was doing real oil paints, I have to build up the layers. My only advantage is I do not have to wait for everything to dry. So I can just keep painting without waiting for like layers to dry to put everything on top of it. But the colors do blend in unless I go to a separate layer. So it's like, I'm going to have to take a step back in a minute and see if I have to add any. I have to add a little more light. Alright. So on the very edge of the eye, and we're going to use this and not the blender. Let me get it slightly bigger. Like I said, I'm not worried about going past my lineup, because one, I can come in and erase it. And two, I can go over it with another layer. Because these are going to be on their own separate little layer. I just kind of want to let that blend in a little bit. And then we're going to blend this edge color in. Soft blend because you don't want it too dark, but it's really a shadow. It's not like a line. step back and see. Okay, those are looking pretty good. I think they have some light in it. I can always go back and add a little more. Oh, I need to blend that a little bit. Right here. So just a little, stands out a little too much right here. On its own. Hi, Ken. How are you? It's the famous Karen illustration, Karen Orr, dropping in to say hi. Probably gave this cat prettier eyes than it really has, because I really want the eyes to kind of be like, boom. Okay, I'm barely touching now. It's like I'm polishing a marble. Just kind of polishing it up here. A little touch of okay. So you see, here's the real eyes, and there's the eyes I gave the cat. There's not a whole lot of color in this cat, so I really did kind of want to make them pop out a little more. And that's not too bad. I spent about a half hour on 2 eyes, so that's pretty good. Alright, let me find my... Oh, wrong one. Alright. Alright. Oh, I wish I knew Russian. As I do not. Okay, here's the rest of our face. A lot of white, which you all know is my favorite color. It's not. It's not. Hi, Victoria. How are you? Alright, so new layer, and this face is gonna start. Alright, so the first part I want to do is get right around the eye sockets, because that's going to start setting the eyes into the eye socket. Oh, wet oil or real wet oil? Wet oil. We'll try this. Oh, I need to sleep. Alright, so I'm going to show you now. It's a slightly darker color. And we're going to This is the eyelid. Okay, now see, this is why I put the eyes on a separate layer. I have my eraser here, and I could just smooth this out. Alright, I want to just see this white for right now. Which this is a trick you couldn't do with real watercolors. And so we're just gonna a nice little blend right up there. Alright. And I don't use a lot of lines. I don't consider this a line, but it is kind of. Shh. This is actually kind of more of a shadow from the lid, but you know. Nice and alright, there's like a little bit of pinky. Some of the eyes are on this layer, see? And then this outer part, I need more coffee. The outer part of the eye is on the next layer. Woohoo! Thank you! Yay, yay, yay! You're so sweet, Jen. Another little dot there, just to, because the inner part of the eyes have moisture too. That's usually what you think about. Highlights go where it might be a little moist or wet. I want to get this gray. That gray color in there. A little darker shadow on this side. Hi, Prior Shonda. Thank you. If you're here enough, I promise I recognize names. I'm terrible with them at first, but like for the shout outs and stuff, but once I get to recognize you and I can do it faster, I promise you I'm not that bad. I get it eventually. I'm just slow. Alright, now the fun part. All this lovely shades of white that is not really white. And you have to be able to give form on white, which really stinks. I'm just going to be honest with you. So, even though this cat is white, well, the outsides, because I don't have the hair drawn over them yet. I don't have the hair looping down right over the corner. See, this hair is not drawn yet. And the hair is going to come out of the eye socket and form the loop over right on the very end. Does that make sense? Alright. Okay. Aww. So even though this is white, white is a bit, I'm sorry, but white is a pain in the butt. So there's going to be a lot of color underneath. What happens is I'll do an underpainting with colors that you're going to be like, that kit is not blue and mauve and whatever. No, it's not. But I put the darker colors on the underpainting, so then when I put the lighter colors on top, you will be able to see the texture of fur. Otherwise, you just get one flat spot and it looks really flat. So basically, I'm going to be adding shadows. And they're going to look pretty dark and weird at first. But then the other colors are going to go on top. And this is oil painting, so the colors blend together. So I'll get natural shadings as I paint. So blending a little bit of these colors in here together. And this is going to help, because you have to be able to define the white hair. You still have to be able to show the fur directions. It cannot just be, you know, a flat white. At least not for mine. You know, other paintings you probably could. Alright. But I like to show all that detail. So in order to show the detail of white fur, I have to actually paint it different colors first. Alright. And a little bit of this pinky. So now I need to make this nice and big so I can get some So all my white layers are going to build up on top of these colors. And as I build up the layers, thank you. I hope so. This is actually, it's a gift from my son. My son wants to give this to some girl. So he calls me and says, can you paint this cat for me? And I'm like, I could do a face probably. And he's like, alright, that's good. So, this is just a crazy underpainting. not even his girlfriend, I don't think. Yeah, you know, my son doesn't have an official girlfriend, so who knows? I don't know. Yeah. He's out in a whole other state, living the single life, working at my sister-in-law's restaurant at the bar and stuff. He meets all sorts of girls, so who knows? He's trying to be nice too. I don't know. He's 23. Go for it, right? Yeah. I think they were always that way. Alright, so now I don't even call it love. Until he wants to bring somebody home, I don't even call it love. I just say it. Alright, so now I'm going to start developing, probably. That's probably more correct. So my sister-in-law owns a pretty posh restaurant in downtown Cleveland. Her husband is a chef, and so my son has moved back to Cleveland, Ohio, to work for them in this fancy restaurant. He's like, right now he's doing busboys, and he's doing like bar back and learning a bunch of everything. But you know, it's a fancy place, and he says the place is beautiful, and so are the people. There's a lot of nice looking people that work there. You know how it goes. So he's having some fun. Oh, and he's a member of the family. Forgot. Yeah. Right, so this is still sort of beigey. We're going to be building them up. But basically I'm just like laying down these, trying to develop the direction of the hair on this cat's face. In the picture it's really kind of hard to see it as well, because it's all white. Alright. So once again, I'm taking the shape, and now I'm going to start creating form. So hopefully, with the directions here, it'll start not looking flat. And as you get to the bridge of the nose, it's even shorter hairs. Because right in here, it's like velvet. You can see even changing, it's the exact same color, but just changing from a longer hair to a shorter hair is going to help bring that bridge of the nose out. Hi, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Appreciate all the people who shared this out and are spending some time here with me today. I only have 10 minutes already. Oh, an hour goes by so fast when you start getting into the zone. Oh, I love having you guys here. If I was 20 and all I had was art and myself in my life, I'd probably be on here I'd be like the Truman Show. I'd hang out with you guys all the time. If you're old enough to remember what the Truman Show is, then you might have an idea. Oh, if they would have had Periscope and stuff when I was in my 20s, oh, I would have been a Perry star. Now I feel like I'm playing catch up, but that's okay. I could do it for the rest of my life and I don't have to worry about stopping to take care of my kids. I already did that. I know, right? It's like when we had to move from Ohio and we moved to Michigan. I felt bad. I felt bad because, my kids kind of had to leave their friends and things, but, we had to eat. My husband needed a job. So, then we'd come out here and we'd travel back and forth and visit and all that, and we'd have kids come here for, on breaks and in the summer. But they would just be on their Xbox and everything anyway, and then they'd go home to Cleveland, and my kids would still be playing with their same friends back from Ohio on the video games and talking with their headsets or Skyping or whatever, and I'm like, geez. Back in the day, someone moved, you never heard from them again. Right? Now they just kind of yeah. When me and my husband first started dating, he lived in a different county. Oh, see? My husband actually moved in with somebody from work, rented a room from somebody he worked with so he wouldn't have to be long distance to call me. And my kids are like, long distance? And literally, my son said, long distance? What's long distance? And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Right? Long distance? The things we have seen. I'm sorry for that. Oh, thank you. I'm old, John. You know how old I am, right? I don't look how old I am, though. You're not that old. I bet I'm older than you. I'm going to tell you, I'm 49. How old are you, John? Old enough. Old enough to know better, right? And see how I'm coming in here? I'm starting to curve up. Because right here, when I get in here, it's going to come from the eye and curve up. And then it's going to curve up. Oh, well, see? Yes. I still am glad I'm 49 because there was nothing like the 80s. I'm saying the 80s were awesome. People would go out to clubs and dance. No, the 80s did not suck. I love the 80s. The end of the 80s. I graduated in 85. And, high school, and I wasn't rah-rah cheerleader. I was super arty in high school, but, I knew people. You hated the 80s music? Well, not even the metal bands. So you can see how I'm building up the layers, and you're going to get various colors of light throughout here. Oh god, I have pictures in my photo album from a party I had at my parents' house. Must have been the end of the 80s, like 89. And I swear, the guys look like they belong to Bon Jovi or something. My husband rocked, thank you. My husband rocked the mullet. You follow me on Facebook, right, John? You follow me on Facebook. I know I love Bon Jovi too. And he's still good looking for his age too. But John, you follow me on Facebook. You can see right there on Facebook is a picture of my wedding picture. I got married the end. I got married at the end of 1990, October of 1990, and I had like curly permed hair because my hair is super straight, and my husband had a mullet. Oh, those are the days. And he showed up at a party at my house wearing a ripped t-shirt and spandex pants. Right? Mullet and spandex pants. Oh. Oh yeah. I used to use Aquanet. My hair is super straight and thin and super straight and thin, like thin straight hair, which in the 80s was totally not in style. So I used to use like Aquanet and like then dry it with a hair dryer so it would like stick up. It was like, oh my god. And then I'd have my aqua blue pumps and earrings to match, and my shirt that hung off the shoulder. I was so cool. You go up in the club, go to high school with my Jordache jeans and my Nikes. I know, right? Oh. Yeah, you missed some of that. Oh, loved it. So if you guys can see how, oh, grungy, yeah. So you see how the lighter colors are going to blend in with the darker colors I put below, and it's going to help give me some natural shade. And then I just keep building this up until I get to the white that I want. But this is how you can get hair texture when you're painting white hair. You have to do an underpainting. If you're doing white fur, thank you. Yeah, if you're doing white fur, well, you missed the beginning, Jade. I drew the eyes on here too, so if you go back to the very beginning. Oh, I love to share. I have like 2 minutes. I'm just getting into the zone and I can't stay. I gotta do stuff today. Ooh, yeah, everybody follow Jade. She's up next there. Put up those emojis. You're doing a cat too, huh? Awesome. It's a cat day. I'm actually going to meet some friends for like lunch or dinner. And I think we might be going to Canada. Jade, put up your emojis. But I think I might be going to Canada for dinner. How much is that? I'm going out to the country for dinner today. Found fun. Oh, did she leave already? It's in my title if you go follow her, or in a few minutes you just look up hashtag LDCC or hashtag ArtBlock. You'll be able to, okay, cool. Yeah, you'll be able to follow her to the next scope. So John, are you going to come and join us in the dark side one of these days? You're going to come and join us over here? I'm going to call you out. Yeah, on the crew. All the rumors you've heard from before were not true. So you come and make your own decision. Okay. All you have to do is look it up and join. I'll vouch for you. Okay. So, let me take a step back really quick. You see how I'm building up these colors? Awesome. I'm going to hold you to it now. I'm building up these colors, and there's going to be white upon white upon white to get to, and creams to get to more of this. So that's where this is going eventually. So that was about an hour's worth of work. If you want to see the rest of it, we're in Michigan. Where in Michigan are you going? So if you want to see the rest of it, this is where you can follow me. Please follow, like, comment, send me some photos. I'm not sure where that's at. I'm new here. It's probably up, I'm going to say it's more northwest of me, I'm thinking. I'm right on the Detroit River, so... Okay, yes, that's northwest. I'm about 30 minutes south of Detroit on the river. Anyway, this is where you can find me, and you can follow me, and send me comments, questions, share your art with me. I'm available. There's a little bit behind the scene things here on my Facebook page that I do for the people who follow me on Facebook. And I'd love to see you there and get to know you. So thanks for spending some time with me today. Here, I'm going to put that up really quick. Here's our schedule for today. If anybody wants to take a screenshot so you can look at it later, you follow it. Peace. Peace. Up next is Juba Jade. And here's our list of artists today. We have some great art coming on. If you see this asterisk, that just means that we're on at the same time every single week. So I will be here again at 10 o'clock next Saturday. And at various times throughout the week. So I hope to see you. Thanks for spending time with me. Let's go see Jade's cat.